This is episode number 165 with an asterisk. This is not a complete episode. We're not going to talk about season one. Season one came and went. I thought I could do 2 podcasts and a Patreon, and I cannot. So we sort of abandoned the show after the first episode. So apologies to the viewers and the listeners that have been with us for 10 years. I promise we will return. We will do a real episode, a real full review, and cover, I guess we'll cover all of Shooty Got was Doctor run on the first 2 seasons. And maybe just like, I think we did it a little bit with season 1 because you were gone for a couple episodes. We'll highlight some of the episodes that we missed and then do it an all in on what we thought. We're jumping in here now because if you haven't gone on social media, went on the BBC's own website where they blow everything on a news title, which is ridiculous. I don't understand the thought behind that since it just aired yesterday. Or obviously seen the show, we're going to be spoiling the main business. We just have to talk about it. It's a big to do. I have very strong feelings. I imagine you do as well.
Yeah.
So the doctor is... Well, the doctor's gone.
I mean, did you know any of this
Shooty Got
was coming?
was gone.
I had no... Like, even in the story, I didn't see it coming. And okay, for me, it was a complete and total surprise. I had watched it the night of, but not right away. I'm so glad I didn't, like you just said, luckily didn't open social media, or my YouTube was nothing but spoiler thumbnails.
You
everywhere.
didn't even, right, and you didn't even need to go on social media. Like, I had it spoiled, not what he generates into, not who he generates into.
I didn't see
I
that
had
one,
the regeneration spoiled. So this morning, I just opened Google News.
Yeah.
And the headline, and it might have been the BBC or something, was like, Doctor regenerates into surprise. So going in, I knew it was over. We're not going to talk about this episode. I didn't like the last episode at all. It seemed like it was 2 episodes. There was like, let's have a bunch of people sit in a room and just say exposition for 15 minutes. Bring back a beloved villain, only to have them not really important. Just put him in the closet, back of the closet with you. Which I feel like we just did. So now we did that again. And then in half of the episode, which was this regeneration into Rose Tyler. So I don't know. What's your initial thoughts? I sound like I'm being negative, and I think I am. But what is I want to hear from you. Tell me the good stuff.
Well, like I said, I had no idea that it was coming. When he says that he's going to have to... Whatever it is. I just watched it one time. I wasn't planning on doing a review until we kind of had to, this came up and was like, we should really talk about it. But he does whatever he says. He's going to have to basically jumpstart a car with his Time Lord energy. It's like, oh no, wait, no. Because they've done a fake out before where it's like, I don't want to go. And like it starts regenerating. And he even has that moment where like the hand starts going and he blows it out. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe he won't. Because I had really no idea. And it's like, it's only been, 2 seasons with some,
short seasons.
Very short. So, and I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to like critical reception in the fandom, but I think he's been a pretty successful Doctor. So I was very surprised by this. On the other hand, it makes sense. His profile is blowing up. He's a very good actor. And I'm sure that he's just... doesn't necessarily want to get stuck doing this when there are tons of other opportunities that may never come back. Anyway, so wasn't expecting it at all. Just like any time a Doctor regenerates, it's bittersweet. You're like, especially for this one, it was just so short. I wasn't ready for it to happen. And then, did it really seem necessary to do it? Like, it just felt like an answer in search of a question. He's got to go, so let's just find a reason to do it. It didn't really seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. So there was all of that for him regenerating. And then the reveal of Billy Piper at the end. Now, they do say, Shurigawa as the Doctor. They say...
in introducing Billy Piper, but they don't say the Doctor.
Exactly. So they don't say it. And then I was reading a little bit of something else, like the statements from the BBC and from Shooty and from Billy, and they're all basically saying, like, Billy's excited to come back. and you'll find out who, what, and when it is. So it's like, I don't know what's going on. They're going to do something totally different. That's my top line. I also have some, this whole thing about the bi-generation and all of that. Like, does that just play into it? No, they just
who cares?
I know, but now they're just going to keep changing the rules as they go. Which I guess after 60 years, it's cool to keep things fresh, but it also means like you're shifting the board around, and now anything. It's just a little. I don't know. That's my initial impression.
See, Eric, you say to keep things fresh, but I feel like it's just stale. Like we're doing all Here's David Tennant. We're bi-generated, and he's still hanging around. No one even acknowledges, by the way, that he's around. There's one when what's her face? Last Doctor. Jodie Whittaker comes in. Yeah. He's like, I thought it was going to be the other one. He's always popping up. It's like, right. Well, why don't you go find him? Because there's two of you. And you're talking about regenerating. He even says, like, I don't think it'll be a bi-generation this time. Can you imagine just exponentially more and more doctors till it's just ridiculous?
Yes.
Like, why not check with David Tennant? Like, at that point, when he was talking about it was time for him to die, I was like, oh, I didn't expect Jodie Whittaker to come. I expected David Tennant to come, and I expected them both to die, so we get one doctor again.
Oh, I like that.
Right. And I think that's what's going to happen, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, when we talk about Rose Tyler, I think Rose Tyler will be back, and she will team up with David Tennant for a one-off Christmas special.
Agree.
And the two of them will literally, we always wanted to do it, and now we're going to do it, and we're going to have a baby that's going to be the next Doctor, which is a combination of having sex with yourself, I guess, in a way. I don't know if it... Because there's like the bad wolf stuff. Like she was in the TODWS.
Yep.
So maybe it's that and not but it's clearly from a regeneration. But it doesn't matter. Like I'm just so done with going back and nostalgia, and just do something new.
Yeah.
Like stop taking old ideas and then not really adding anything. It was like one thing when David Tennant does it, which I had mixed feelings about at the time, but at least that you could say, okay, we've never done that.
Right.
But we've done that.
Right.
And now we're doing it again. And it's like, okay, Russell T. Davies, like these are characters you created, but just to keep going back to yourself, it feels like...
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's got to be new writers that can come up with something.
I know, I totally agree. You're right. Like, I think it's an attempt to keep it fresh, whether it's successful or not is in the eye of the beholder and completely subjective. I would also say, yes, he's going back and revisiting his characters. So he's going back, years and bringing them around again. But he's also going back to like the season before. Like now the Ronnie was a bi-generation, and then he was a bi-generation. It's like he's already recycling the same ideas again. Like you had said, we had Omega, and we had oh god, now I'm blanking. Pyramids
the Ronnie part 1 and part 2.
No. The Pyramids of Mars. The
Sutek.
That's what it was. He's already done that thing. Like you kind of hinted at. There's the big giant monster from Nostalgia, and you brought that. It's just like recursively faster eating his own ideas again.
Or just creating new things and not playing with them long enough to establish any kind of depth. Mm-hmm. Like you get Mrs. Flood, and then she's just delegated to like the back. Delegate, is that the right word?
Relegated, but yeah.
Relegated to like the sideline.
Until the end.
Until the end when she just leaves.
Right.
So it's like, what was the point of that? Like, have her as the Ronnie the whole time. Now, the other actor, she's great. Nothing against her. Pick one or the other. Like, we didn't need the two. Like, what was the point of the two?
Again, maybe this is... I don't want to give too much credit to Davies. I do love the Davies era, the original Davies era, but after getting burned with the Sutek stuff, I don't want to try to impute a whole bunch of, like, setting up things in the future. But I don't know, maybe there was an idea. He just wanted to revisit the bi-generation because it's going to be the thing. It's all going to come back together again. This is the whole reality war. We're definitely in this weird...
We got rid of one of the Ronnies.
Right. So maybe that's like, now that's like you just said, the same thing is going to happen. We're going to have Tennant, and whoever Billy Piper's character is going to collapse that, and it's going to go back to more of a... I don't know. Who knows? I mean, trying something. It's not super successful all the time, but... yeah.
I also feel like, speaking of like too many people, like I liked Belinda Chandra a lot.
Me too.
I liked Ruby Sunday a lot.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but we didn't need both. I feel like if that was the same character throughout both of these, like you basically take Belinda and you're like, could you wait in a closet for like just most of this episode while we're doing stuff? Like, it just seems like, I wonder if that was the original idea, to have one character and then maybe she wanted to leave the show and then they recast, or I don't know. That's me adding a bunch of BS, because it just feels, when you take a character and you make them wait in a closet and they're not doing anything, and I don't want to get into the whole kid thing. Like,
save that for another time.
Kid earlier, so I grow to know and care about the kid over the season, and not just be like, oh no, the kid was always there. I've always was saying I had to go get the kid.
I kind of had a mixed feelings about that. I haven't really thought through it yet, but.
And the kid maybe should have talked so that I could get something out of it. It just seemed like just dumb.
Well, here's what. Yeah, is that the right word? Well, here's one other thing too that is a dangling thread that I can only imagine has to get picked up at some point. But we saw flashes of Susan throughout the last bits of this season, so it's like, okay, so we have to have Poppy because we have to get to Susan. But then we didn't have Poppy, but now we do. So I don't even know. Like, it just feels like here's a half of an idea. Oh, but here's a different other idea. But here's another one, and then just kind of leaving them all and be like, actually, none of them.
I'm glad you said Susan, because that they tease that at the end of even the previous episode, plus throughout the season, plus it's the anniversary, plus I can see Susan's house from up here. So like Susan was always being mentioned, and it feels like cheap to be like dangling Susan and then create this other character. And I don't know if this is what you were getting at. I kept waiting to connect that thread. So all the stuff with Poppy, I'm like, oh, the doctor's going to have a kid and then she's going to be Susan's mom, or because there's a connection.
Exactly.
But that never comes.
No.
And I just feel like it would have so much more emotional weight, and I feel like I would care about Poppy living or dying if I spent any kind of time with her.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're adding a character to take it away to give like motivation for plot, but there's no
payoff to it.
And there's no like personal connection. I have no personal connection to her. She's just a kid. She's great. Nothing against the actress or just a child actor, but I didn't care about Poppy.
And it also kind of showed up in the story too at different times. It was like they didn't care because it was imaginary, but then it was real, and then all of a sudden they really super cared, but then they didn't again. Like the whole thing was just it just felt muddled. Not that we're going to get into a full like total review. I was not a super fan of that ending either. I didn't like. I admire the fact that they were able to keep it a secret until it aired. I am angry that they spoiled. Like you can't control what fans are going to do. So if you're going to be, a content creator and you're going to put up a thumbnail that shows the Doctor regenerating, well, you're just a jerk. That's fine. But the BBC to spoil it on their official channels, even there, you said on the BBC, but even the Doctor Who YouTube channel, because they do all these behind the scenes.
Yeah.
One of their behind the scenes thumbnails on YouTube was like behind the scenes of the regeneration. It's like, what are you doing? Right. You put it out like almost the exact same time as the episode. Why? If like that was the only thing that was actually really impactful, was like, are they really going to do it? This is a total shock to me. And I kept second guessing myself until it actually happened. But if you went into it like you did and know like, yeah, it's going to happen, like even that little bit of like mystery is gone.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't watch it on the day it aired, but it was the next day.
It's not fair.
Spoiled, so it's not
within 24 hours you watched it. Like,
yeah.
That's nuts. I will say, I love Billie Piper. I love her. I loved her in the 2005 series through all the way, all of her revisiting. I loved her in all the other things she's done. Secret Diary of a Call Girl. I just think she's so much fun. She gets the character. I am excited to see what they could do with her, especially if it is a one-off or very limited, like holiday sort of thing. Bring her, bring Tennant, bring Donna, maybe. I don't know. Bring them all together. Do something and tie it all up. I'm on board with that. I think she's terrific. It was just so bonkers. If she ended up actually being the Doctor, I might be off this show entirely.
My prediction would be, what I said before. Yeah. One-off Christmas special, it seems like, and maybe that's the end of the show. Not of Doctor Who, but of the show on Disney Plus. And then maybe it's in some time goes by before, and then it's brought back by some new because there is talk. Like I think the contract ended with Disney Plus now, right? So like whether or not it's coming back or not coming back in the current form is
right.
There's no way they're leaving it like this. I think you'll get one or maybe a couple of specials like they did with David Tennant 3, something like that. I can see.
Yeah, that would be, I would be on board for that as well. Yeah, but that's it. I mean, it's who knows? You know, Shooty could always come back. They keep bringing everyone back all the time now. It's like it's crazy, but for me, too short a run to really get to know him. I thought it was starting to get much more interesting as he went along, and now it's just like gone. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
It's gone. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it. I don't think he did not have enough time to become anything. And some of the stuff that they were writing for him, I just didn't like. Yeah, it's always like just like self-aggrandizing all the time, and sure. And that's not him. That's just the script. So
I think every Doctor always took a season or so to get into it. I mean, other than Eccleston, who was kind of resetting the template for it, and that's fine, in and out. That's what he wanted to do. But even Tennant, which is my favorite Doctor, he took a little while to get in. Everyone did, and he was, I think, just hitting his stride. And that's
I agree with you. I think it was unfair and felt even Eccleston, which hit me hard because I did not know that was coming the first time you watched that through, and it was like he needed more time, more seasons. But I feel like it's still a full run with him. Yes. Even looking back on it. Yes. And it just feels like because the seasons were shorter, or I don't know, there was no real solid storyline through. Right. Even like the Pantheon, I don't feel like I understand that anymore.
Totally underdeveloped. It's again one of these like, here's half an idea, but I'm going to move on to something else and maybe not really finish it off. Anyway, let's save that for like a big overall. We're good. Overall
so
review
2 thumbs later. Down. Sorry, I apologize. And if you liked it, if you got something out of it, wonderful. Great. Wonderful.
I hope everyone did. I hope the majority of people really truly enjoyed it. I would like to see the series continue. I would like to see it hit its stride again. It just wasn't for me. That's all.
Yeah, me neither.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it's not bringing me back as a fan of the old show to show me something. I want something new.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get that chance. But in the meantime, we will get together. We'll do, like Eric said, we'll do kind of an overall review of. We didn't really talk about the second season much, so we'll focus on that, the second season, but just do it all together and a send off to Shooty coming soon.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.